What's up, everybody? We are live. As always, it's great to see you. And I'm going to need to do a check on if my video and audio works. So let me know if this audio works or if I need to go higher or lower. I have a whole microphone button here. I can check out how the sound's going. So let me know I'm mostly worried about audio quality, not quality. Quality's not going to get checked. Quality's not getting fixed. But the volume can get fixed. So let me know on that. Welcome, everybody. I'm sorry if you're going to hear a lot of noise in the background because we had a sleepover last night at my house with my kids who are now 7 and 9. They are cousins that are age like 9 and 10. Had a sleepover last night and they're still here and they're running around like crazy because that's what 7 and 9-year-olds do. But they're going nuts and it's making my dog go nuts. So the whole house is going crazy. So I'm in my little quiet nook of the house right now. One of the reasons I did this channel, one of the reasons I did this video, quite frankly, was because I could just get away from the craziness that has been my life for the last 24 hours. So yeah. And then I'm going to go into chill mode for until I have to go to work tomorrow. Just get back, calm down, finally get some relaxing time. So I thought I'd hang out with you all. Another big reason I'm doing this is my wife is fed up with me. Y'all, she is done. Because I have been, so I've got this P.O. box that I have all the books sent to that want to get sent to me. So like authors reach out all the time, not big authors. Every now and then they do, but it's like very rare. But 99% of the people that reach out to me are like very small authors, right? That want to get a little notoriety. And so they reach out to people like me and every other booktuber and say, can I send you my book? Will you read it? Some people say yes. But what I do is I say, I'm not going to read it. But if you send it to me, I will show it off on my channel. And I don't need these books. I'm trying to be nice to the authors. I figure that's like a way that I could kind of show them off a little bit with not being a total jerk by just getting this little P.O. box. So, but I have not been opening them lately. I have not done my weekly check-in videos. And so I've got like a bunch of boxes here, like stacked up all around me. So we're going to be going through some of those and answering any questions people have. Just hanging out. But yeah, that's my excuse to get away from kids and get through some of these boxes so my wife's a little happier with me. My kids had birthdays recently and they thought some of these boxes were their presents, and gosh, were they disappointed because they were just like this random book, or this random book. So I'll show off those too, even though I'm not going to be opening those because they were all opened with immense disappointment. So yeah, sorry to those authors, but that's what being a parent's like sometimes. Just jumping from disappointment to disappointment. I haven't done a check-in video lately, but I guess I'll just real quick run down what's going on in my life. Nothing new, nothing big. I work a lot, not overdone, but 9 to 5. And then I'm in a break right now of no sports. And so I was doing coaching of coaching lacrosse and coaching soccer. And now I am doing nothing. And so our soccer team is really competitive. They're a rec team, but they're all best friends. And so they all take it really way too seriously. And they play indoor all season. And like all these other girls like do what normally happens in a recreation soccer league where they play for the 3 months and then they don't play for 9 months. My girls just play all year round. So they play all summer. So I'm still doing like practices with them because they demand it. So we're going to get to and they dominated they had to play like up a age group last year and they still dominated. And this year they're going to play like their same age group and they're not allowed to play up anymore. And they've been playing all year. So it's going to be a joke. So I guess I'm coaching that, but they're going to be more like coaching themselves. And yeah, anything else going on in my life? We went to Disneyland recently. That was cool. Disneyland, California Adventure for 6 days, 2 of them travel days. I live in Northern California, so it was like a 7-hour car drive. And my wife is very scared of airplanes. So we try to drive, if we can. 7 hours is definitely in the driving distance. So we did that, and that was awesome. And then I immediately took another vacation because I've learned over the years that when you go to Disneyland with kids, it's like a vacation. It's fun. You get to like experience a really awesome thing and watch your kids like have these huge moments, which is really special to me as a dad. But they're not relaxing. And so I always schedule a vacation after the vacation. So we went to the coast and stayed in like a really small beach house for 3 nights. Right after that, we came back for like a day, and then we went straight to the beach house. And then I got to relax, and that was cool. So I finally figured out the secret to going to Disneyland. You just got to go on a vacation afterwards. What else? Anything going on in my life? Work's going good. I don't have, my boss is not in an election. So I finally, the last few years I've been working for those of you that don't know, I work in politics. And so I'm a chief of staff to a politician, and that's the most political thing I'll ever say on this channel. But my boss, I worked in a level of government, I'll say, where my boss had to get reelected every 2 years, which meant I was always in reelection mode. It's like I was running a campaign all the time. Where now I work in a level of government where my boss gets elected every 4 years, and I'm in an off election year, which means it's like a calm down period, which is really cool. I don't have to worry about that at all. I mean, we do have to worry in the sense that, like, don't make any big mistakes so your boss doesn't get reelected. But other than that, it's not like constantly fundraising, constantly doing name ID checks. It's actually getting to govern, which is really fun, which is actually really fun. So I'm in that, which is really enjoyable. Now, ask me in a couple of years, and I will be in the stressful time period again. But right now we are set. Although it won't be stressful if, like, I do a good job, and then they won't get that much competition. But if I do a bad job, then in 2 years, things are going to be very, very, very stressful. So anything else going on here? Let's see. Oh, Daniel Green, what's up, bro? Congrats. You deserve the subs and so much more. Thanks, man. That's really nice of you. I appreciate it. And what else we got here? Anything else? Yeah, just people being nice. I'll do a couple random comments. We'll pull random comments. I'm going to be skipping a lot of comments today, folks. I never like to do that, but I have so many things I have to get through. I'm already behind on schedule. All right, Scott. What's up, Scott? What books are you most looking forward to reading next on your TBR? Well, that's a good question. My TBR is not very extensive right now. It's been dwindling, which is good. But I'll tell you, I read this book, Darien, recently that I was really saying nice things about on my channel, by like CF something, a guy that doesn't write fantasy. He's a historical writer, but it was awesome. And the first book I just thought was incredible. And so I really, really can't wait to read the next one in that. I'm going through the Malazan again on my reread, and I'm now at Midnight Tides, and each one of those books I look forward to. So very much looking forward to that. And what else? What else is my TR? A Dance with Dragons is on my TBR. I'm not really looking forward to that because I don't think I'm going to love it. And what else? I'm doing Wandering In books. So, one thing. I don't know how this is going to work, but Pirate Abba, with the author of The Wandering In, their team reached out to me and invited me to be on like a live stream with Pirate Abba and the new audiobook narrator and the old audiobook narrator to like talk about the new book that's coming out, which is cool, except I'm not caught up with the new book. So I have like 3 books to read in a month. So I got to rush through those so I can take part in that. But yeah, so a lot going on that front. But yeah, a lot to look forward to. Yeah, so let's move on. Let's open up some of these books, huh? And I can answer questions while we're opening books. And I'm not going to talk a lot about the books. You know, it's just what we got going on here. All right, coming to Rayleigh for the Sun Eater Book 7 launch? No, but I wish. Ooh, we got a package inside of a package. Look, Amazon, you've not done yourself. Almost all these are Amazon books. All right, this is a cover. Look at that. This looks like some kind of mix between like Inside Out. Really, just Inside Out, I think. Fiscal, Pear Shimmer, and Bright Berry in the Call of Rivenwale, a journey through the Vale of... Wow, this is something. This is really something. We're off to a banger on the first one, and we got a thank you card, a really nice thank you card. I'm not going to read it out loud because I don't know that that's nice to do. But that's a very nice thing. So, yeah. There we go. All right, we're going to go trash over there. I'm not going to throw books in trash. Books. We're going over there. All right. Maybe like question book. Is that what you're going to do? Is that what we're going to do here? Let's check it out. Off the top of your head, what's been your most disappointing read this year so far? Disappointing read off the top of my head. Off the top of my head, it's hard because I don't think off the top of my head. I keep spreadsheets. What's been disappointing? Was Wind and Truth 2025? I think I finished it in 2025. I think I technically read Wind and Truth in 2025. That has to be it. Not so much because it's the worst book I read. It's not. But God, if we're saying disappointment, it has to be that. It has to be that. All right, so we got another box inside of a box. This time not Amazon's fault. This time author fault. Oh, they really wanted this book to be safe. And I'm opening it so haphazardly that I don't know that I'm going to be safe with this thing. It's a paperback. Let's see here. All right. Bud Templin sent in Tales Told Around a Strange Fire. This is pretty, I'm going to say, this is going to go into the dope covers category. I mean, I don't really have that much time to read these things on the back of them. Sorry, but yeah, looks pretty cool. Thanks for sending it. All right, what do we got here? Did you read all the Malazan books? I can't even think about rereading them before finishing all the Ice books and Kirkanis. Yeah, I mean, you're thinking about it, right? I did read all those, which is why I did my reread. But yeah, you're on the right page. Okay. Do you prefer Serini Doriaka or as villain or Odium? Doriaka all day. Odium maybe will develop into that. But he's a little too one-dimensional at the moment. It's a smooth head. Nothing stays there. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna read more Ken Follett. Probably not. I didn't love the last one as much as the first one in the Pillars of Earth. I mean, maybe I'll read other stuff by him, but nothing's calling to me. All right, what's up? Let's open this is a heavy one. This is a big boy. All right, what do we got here? We got which series rivals Malazan? I mean, a lot of series rival Malazan. I wouldn't say any of them are as good as Malazan in my personal opinion, but I'd say things like Sun Eater would rival Malazan. I'd say First Law absolutely would rival. Very different, but would rival it. I mean, very different reads. Wow, this is a very heavy book. What else? You know what? This is not a heavy book. It's 4 books. Wrong. I'm going to pull Sanderson on you. 5. I've written 5 books. This is 5 books. Presumably from the same series. But maybe now we're going to have to do some digging. We're going to have to dig. All right. So we got all by S. William Nesbitt II. Can you say second? Don't you have to say junior? Like it's kind of a pretentious way to say it, but look, I'm not a junior. If I was, maybe I'd do it. All right, yeah, they're all the same. So we got Homeward Hero, book 1, which is, again, we're going in the dope covers category. We got like intergalactic football hero with cheerleaders. I mean, 13-year-old me is all about that cover. 40-year-old me is all about it, but I don't want my wife to hear that. All right, we got book 2, way different tone. This is more way different tone. This is more like 16-year-old Matt, more like trying to be edgy and cool. All right, now we got Matt with 2 ladies. This is a Matt in an alternate timeline, Matt. Then we got Matt going to war here. Maybe that's me in like political days. And then 5, we got cool, I don't care about what's going on. So yeah, this is like my life told in a story. So good job, William Nesbitt. All right, what else we got going on here? Will I continue Second Apocalypse? Yeah, I will. I definitely want to read the second, what's it called? The next series in it. There's like a sub-series that I have to read. I don't know the name of it. But it's right now on my Patreon. There's a vote. And all the books on my Patreon vote once a month are books that I will be reading at some point in the next year. But if it gets voted, then it jumps to the top of the pile. So that's one of them, which means I will be reading it. It's on the short list of books that I want to read. And we'll see. All right, we got Seventh Blade by Tanya Laird. I gotta hold my books better. I'm so zoomed in that I'm used to like holding out there, but now I gotta bunch it up. Yeah, looks dope. Looks pretty. You know who that looks like? Kind of looks like a little bit of every fantasy redhead of all time. I was about to say one, but then I realized it's not a pretty common thing. But yeah, looks cool. All right. Got anything else going on here? Are there any plans to continue Versagi? No, they're not. I'm devouring them and almost finished with the series. It's so good. The only consolation for me is that it has a fantasy. Yeah, I just stopped liking them as much. I thought they were. You know my problem. I'll tell you my problem. My problem is I read too much, and my standard for dropping off a series has gotten a little bit strict over the years. Now, like if I read the series a few years ago, I would have said like, yes, of course I'm going to keep reading. I liked all the books, but I've never like loved them. And there's so many fantasy books that are like, you know, sent to me or like on my radar or things that like are being picked for me to read, like things that I need to read, that when I'm not like in a love with something, I kind of got to move on, or like I don't feel like I'm gonna be in love with it, you know, then I have to drop it. And that's what happened for Cossack, and it was all good, but nothing that was like amazing to me. All right. Hey, congrats on 30K. Thanks so much. Appreciate it, Chance. Very nice. Let's keep going here with the insane pile that I have not dented yet. We might be on stream here for a while, folks, but I can hear the kids are still here. So we gotta milk this for all that it's worth. All right. We got Holy Empire by George Carousel, the Soul Pendant. And in case you weren't sure, it's a fantasy. You know, sometimes you're looking at a cover and you're like, look, is this, you know, what is this? What am I looking at here? Is this a self-help book? You know, is this, I don't know. Is this a history book? No, it's a fantasy book. So you know, I'm getting to the age where when people make things very evidently clear for me, you know, I appreciate it. All right, we got, you know, let's open up a custom package. You know, a lot of these I know, you know, if it's going to be an Amazon package, I know what it is. This is an author that really wants to like somebody to read their thing. But every now and then I get these like books in a special case, which means one of two things. One, either an awesome viewer sent me something that they think I'm going to love, or like a special edition book, which is not often. Or it's like an author sending, like a publisher sending me a book, which is cool. Because sometimes it's like a book that I'm looking forward to, like The Devils. That's how that came in. But you know, good covers are, wow, this is quite the letter. This is long from a publisher. So I will save that in my to read later. Oh man, we got goodies. We got a pen. This is the kind of stuff that makes it so I'm a hero of the family. See, when I have a very conflicting life, because right now, like when you ask kids nowadays, you say like, what do you want to be when you grow up? A lot of them are like, I want to be a YouTuber. Horrible decision, by the way. But that's what they say. So when my kids or their friends are like, oh, you do a YouTube channel. And I'm like, yeah. Well, first of all, they think it's my full-time job, but then they're like, that's the most amazing thing I've ever heard. What is your channel about? And I go, I review books. And they go, yeah, you're a loser. But then I go, look, I get goodies, and I toss them out. And then they're like, you're cool again. And that's the same thing that happens with my kids. So the more goodies you send my way, you know, it just makes it so I can continue doing this channel without getting a lot of gripe at home. So yeah, a booklet with like an emo guy on front. This is perfect for a little girl. Perfect for a little girl. And then we got this cool little booklet, Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint by Sing and Song. You know it's a whip cereal when they got a name like that. You know, it looks cool. I'm actually intrigued. That's what happens when you send me goodies. So this is going to go in our goodie. We're going to have a book pile. We have a goodies pile. We have a trash pile. All right. Any more things going on here? What do we got? Where do you rank The Devils within only Joe's books? Around halfway. Around right in the middle, which is awesome because Joe's books are dope. Well, I mean, more than halfway if I'm including stuff like Shattered Sea, which I think are the weakest of his books. But if I'm considering the first law, I'd say right in the middle. Well, now would they say TikTok? Yes, that's true. Yeah, everyone in my family tries to get me to do a TikTok channel, a TikTok thing, and I try to explain to them that that is not what I do. My whole channel is based around the concept that I'm comfortable talking without a script, that I don't like to edit. This is the basis of my channel, and TikTok is like the antithesis of that. It's like heavily edited, every little thing, make them really short, really careful, no breaths, look attractive. That's a problem. So yeah, TikTok is not my jam, and also not the kind of book. Like maybe there's like a dark fantasy corner of book talk of like TikTok. I don't think it's a big one. I've seen my wife on TikTok. I see what kind of books they talk about, and it is not my kind of books. I'll tell you that. That's all I got to say about that. Another letter. Enjoy the start of the Storm Slayer series. This will be a 24-book series. You know, the commitment to say on book 1 that this is a 24-book series. This is even if you don't complete it, I like you. You know, I like all these people that are like, you know, I'm gonna do one book, we'll see what happens. No, stick your neck out there. You know, how are you ever gonna write a 24-book series if you don't have the intention to write a 24-book series? You know, so that's Scandal, book 1 of 24 from the Stone Slaver series by Candice Lynn. And I also appreciate Candice. I just gotta say this, Candice, you got 24 books to go, 23 books to go. You don't need to go crazy with the cover art. Just a nice little soft border. You know what you're doing. You know, don't shoot off all your ideas on book 1 when you have so many to go. And book 2, subtly different border. I mean, we're on our way. Fallout, book 2. You know, we're a 12th of the way into the series. Love it. All right, what else we got? What else we got here? I'm curious if Matt or anyone in the chat has been reading the Bloodborne. I've not. I'm going to skip. One swipe of the presidential pen and TikTok is gone. Yeah, I mean, I know you're having a fun little thing, but also one of the reasons that not smart to have a YouTube career or just a career in general online. One swipe of anything can end your career. That seems very risky. Oh, Daniel Green's in the chat. Daniel, bro, every decision you make's a good one, man. Keep it up. I'm sure it'll work for you. I'm sure it will, actually. He's doing great. But it's just too risky. I'm a very fiscally careful man. And that's just the amount of risk. I'll also never be rich. So hey, you take some, you leave some on the table. Okay. Oh my God. I realized I just saw you on a local politician live stream a couple of days ago. I'll keep my mouth shut. Yeah, that's probably true. You probably did see me. Okay, what else? We're going to keep moving. And you know what? If we don't get a ton of comments, we'll go back to this. All right, we got another customized box that looks like it's from a different country. I always love the commitment because these things cost a lot of money to send. I could never be an author. It seems very hard to make it. Oh, look at that cover. I mean, it seems hard to make it unless you do covers like this. Gurgle Eyes, The Quest for Unity by Rui Figueiredo. All right. I don't have anything to say about Gurgle Eyes. I think it all says it for itself. This is wild. All right. You know, pretty dope, actually. Not going to lie. All right. Let's see. What do we got here? For how many books you read, do you have an easy time visualizing the setting, new characters, etc.? Or are you not? I'm not very visual, which is weird. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I'm not like a very vivid reader. Are you excited for the forthcoming, probably, novel in the realm of the Otherlings? Is there? Stop. Hold the stream. Is that a thing? Is that a real thing or is that a rumor? Is there a real thing? Is that happening? Somebody answer me. Are you lying to me? I've never been with somebody. I've never kicked anybody from a stream before. I don't even know I can, but if that's a lie to make me excited, I might have to find out how to do that. What else? Yeah, that looks like AI cover. Yeah, that does look like AI cover. All right. Self-written envelopes are some of my favorite. The Immeasurable Heaven by Casper Guillen. The race for reality has begun. Oh, I gotta show it. I'm kind of dumb when it comes to these. The race for reality has begun. All right, yeah. Cool. Looks cool. I got a lot to go. All right, let's see. What's up with the Robin Hobb thing? Is that real? Let's see. I think it's a rumor. It's actually true. Hobb announced it. All right, what else? Hobb wrote it on her own Facebook page a year ago. Hobb did announce it to a few people at Dragonsteel. But I recall seeing her mention something about a new book. All right. Well, I want that to be real. I need that to be real. Do you think it's difficult to get into The Wandering Inn? No, really easy. You just kind of like have a mindset of like, I don't need to catch up. Just read it to have fun. And it's really easy. Like one of the easiest stories to get into. Continuation B story, that'd be cool. Or a new story. I'm cool with those two. I love B. What book would you most like to see adapted to a TV show? I don't watch TV, really. Unless you're like the Survivor. I watch a lot of Survivor. Or randomly, I watch a lot of like British and Australian reality TV. Big Taskmaster fan. Is that reality? That's more like panel show. Branches of the Broken World by Joshua J. White. That is a dope cover, Joshua J. White, and it uses a chonker. I'm going to save this one. I always have believed that you always need a weapon close at hand, right? You never know. And so I've been putting all these books over here. I'm putting this one right underneath me, just in case something goes down. You can just, it'll be perfect. All right, what else we got? All right, Atmas. You don't have to say Atmas. I know who you're talking to. I enjoyed your recommendations and reasonable text, but The Wandering Inn have ever cracked beyond volume 1, or does it get into day-to-day? Wait. It does get a lot more beyond volume 1. Volume 1 is like very touching the surface of it, and the worst of The Wandering Inn. It gets a lot better, but it's also not like great writing. I just happen to like it. It's made for me. All right. Anything else here? All right, let's go. Let's open more. All right, this one's already been opened. Maybe this is one of those ones my kids opened and were just like the last of the ones my kids opened. When they realized the trend of 10 boring books in a row. I don't mean these are boring. They're certainly boring to a 7-year-old. All right, we got The Memories of the Birds. Book 1 by Olivia Fraser. This is a very scary cover. I don't know what to think. I don't like it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be opinionated. I'm allowed to, right? And I don't like it. It scares me. It's got too much of a modern art thing, and that's not my jam, y'all. But maybe the book's dope. All right. From her Facebook page. Also, my computer is a long ways away. It's kind of hard for me to read this, and I'm getting old. Am I working on a book? Yes. Between the Chars, does B figure in it? Yes. Am I writing it very slowly? Yes. I can wait. Yeah, of course they can say hi. Do you read nonfiction? And if you, all right, hold on. We got some guests. Come on in here, guys. Come on in here, y'all. Watch out. Step on the book. I mean, just step on everything. It's fine. Yeah. All right. Also, it's very zoomed in. You're gonna have to like really get in close. Hi. Say hi.
Hi.
And what's your name?
Eli.
What?
Eli.
Just how about you just keep being silly. And then this girl, come on in. What's yours?
Eleni. My name's Eleni.
Yes. And you are 13 now?
No, I'm 9.
9. That's right, 9. Sometimes I forget.
Oh my God.
Do you have anything you'd like to tell millions and or 38 people?
My birthday's June 27th.
Do you have any more personal details you want to give out?
Yeah, you want to give out your social security number next?
Oh my gosh.
Just tell them you like soccer.
What are you into right now? How about that?
I am in soccer.
Yeah.
I want to and used to go in lacrosse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what has been the most fun part of summer so far?
Ooh, that is super hard.
What did you just get done doing?
And if you don't pick in 5 seconds, I'm picking for you.
Oh my gosh.
5,
Okay.
4,
Okay, my cousins came
2.
over.
Oh wow, you like that more than Disneyland? How rude!
I don't care.
Is it the 5-second timer? Did it stress you out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just happened. So.
All right. I love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh wait, Eleni, you have a question. What's your favorite fantasy series?
What does fantasy series mean?
Like a book with magic in it.
Well, what's the one we just read?
Alcatraz and the evil versus the evil librarians.
Yeah.
That's your favorite one. All right, that's your favorite one. It's the only one you've read. You've read half of Harry Potter.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, I love you.
Do you want me to take these books out of here?
No,
Okay.
I'm opening them.
Well, the ones that were already open. It's a lot.
Some of them were opened already, and I think the kids opened them and thinking it was their birthday presents. All right, moving on. Another job for Sanderson. Yes, dude, Sanderson's just getting a lot of money from my family. She's already a Sanderson fan. I gotta tell you, I'm a Sanderson fan. I do like Sanderson, even though I haven't been loving some of the recent stuff he's coming out. I still consider myself a fan. He writes really good kids books. His comedy, some of my criticisms about Sanderson is he writes too childlike. And that comes off obviously really good when you're intending to write a kids book. So yeah, it's pretty top tier kids book writing. And he also can do good adult stuff. Just, needs to fix some things. I have to check out his kids book. Other than that, I'll be, yeah. All right. I'm so excited to hear your opinion on Isles of the Emberdark, considering your dislike for Winter Truth. What is Isles of Emberdark? That sounds like Emberlane. Are you talking about something else? Let's open books. They're so far away. Okay. All right. We got a lot here. All right, what do we got? Oh, the new Sanderson Secret Project. I haven't seen it. Somebody fill me in. What's the Sanderson Secret Project? It's just truly secret. There's nothing else known about it. Oh yeah, we got more goodies, y'all. Okay, we got a bookmark. Ooh, I feel like this is already Ascendant. I feel like I already have this book. The Broken Binding sent me a book. Why did the Broken Binding send me a book? I'm not a member of them. Why do I? Oh, man, I'm such an asshole. All right, Gatebound by Daniel T. Jackson. Daniel, thank you. And also, Daniel T. Jackson, I'm really sorry for the message that I just sent you last week asking if you could please send me this book, because apparently you already sent it to me and you probably think I'm insane. So, yeah, let's just ignore that happened. Okay. Now people are upset at me because I'm an idiot, apparently. Scissors? Oh, that's such a good idea. You've always been my best daughter.
And only.
You are my only daughter, but you are by far the best one. By far. Okay. The new Sanderson book. There's a new Sanderson Secret Project. Look, I live in a hole. You guys are. Do you understand that? I don't read fantasy news. I don't watch fantasy YouTube. I'm really surprisingly in the dark about life. Can you close that door, babe? Thanks. Okay. What is actually crazy? You don't know about that? Okay, what is it? It's been out. It comes out July 1st. Oh, I'm not gonna like this at all. I did not like The Six of Dusk. I don't know that I'm gonna read it. I don't think I'm gonna read this. I know I'm not gonna like it. I don't like his little Sanderson. just go write new stuff. I don't need everything to tie into everything. And if it does, that's cool. But don't be like, that's all I do. I want you to be like an author. I want you to just be like, I want a book and I'm going to write that book and it's going to be awesome. What I don't want you to do is be like, I've got to write this book now and it needs to do these 50 different things in order to work. Like just have fun and write a book. Just enjoy it. But they just feel so overproduced. Is that the word? Too forced? Is that what I'm looking for? I just wanted to go back to what it was, you know? But I am in the minority in life. All right, we got another book here. Let's open up off my little 40-year-old man rant. The Last Man by Peter Roberts. Pretty dope cover. Pretty cool. Got the dark guy in the background. Very ominous. Looks a little grimdarky. Good stuff. All right, what else? Matt, do you like Robert Jordan's writing style, prose? I mean, yes and no. So, like, I'm not that visual of a reader, and Robert Jordan excels in that. So, like, what Robert Jordan, I feel like, did very well is he made the world feel alive more than almost every writer I've ever read. Like, it's hard to explain because I'm not a very, like, smart guy when it comes to explaining things. I just happen to have a camera and I hit record. But I'm trying to think of another book that I like a lot. But, like, what's the Faithful and the Fallen, which I love. The Faithful and Fallen is a series where when characters, like, major things happen and like these awesome things happen, right? And then characters go somewhere else and it feels fake. It feels like they went into a teleportation device and showed up somewhere else. And it doesn't feel like there's a world to it. Robert Jordan and like George R. R. Martin, for example, it feels like every square inch of that world is alive and has a story to be told. And that's what I love about Robert Jordan. Now, I also don't need to know what hue of cloth was used in the hemline of the dress of some random serving wench when you walked into a bar. Like, I don't need that much detail, you know, but I'll take the good with the bad. That's fine. And for some people, they like that. And it helps their brains like fill in the picture. But if he could just do the second part and not the, you know, not the first part, then that'd be awesome. Which is more like a George R. R. Martin. George R. R. Martin didn't obsess with those kind of things unless he's talking about food. Which fantasy world would you want to see in a video game? I don't know. I don't really play fantasy video games. Again, I'm a weird person, right? Like when I play video games, what I'm doing when I'm playing video games is I'm usually doing them to like unwind my brain after the end of the night. And so oftentimes I have an audiobook in and I'm listening. And so I'm playing something either very simple that my brain can tune off to, that I can kind of be listening to the audiobook while playing muscle memory, Mario games, platformers of any kind, sports games, racing games, things like that. But when it comes to like fantasy style games where you're in an RPG and you're in this world, like I just don't have time for that anymore to have this like 100-hour experience or more. You know, I need things that I can turn on and turn off really quickly. And those don't translate into, you know, fantasy very well. What else we got? If you had to pick between John Gwen and Ryan Cahill, who are you picking? I feel like they're the same right now in terms of how much I like them. Holyoke, what's up, man? Good to see you. Discord user representing. About Robert Jordan, right? I'm with you on that. Yeah, it's weird. Did you play World of Warcraft back in the day? Yes, I played World of Warcraft 1 and 2. And by the time World of Warcraft 3 came out, I was not as into it. I played it, but not as much. And World of Warcraft, not even close. I never, ever got into the MMOs. I avoided them. My friends, the first big MMO that I knew of was Diablo 2. And all my friends got into it. And I realized right away, like, I don't think I'm going to enjoy this. I think I'm going to think I'm enjoying it by like getting these dopamine hits. And so I didn't do it. All my friends did. And I was too busy doing like, you know, other things like Team Fortress Classic and stuff like that was more like team-based, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah. What else we got? Congratulations on the milestone. Thank you so much. Now that you have been YouTubing for a while, what did make you come to YouTube in the first place? And looking back, is YouTube what you wanted and expected? Yeah, that's a nice question. Also, where's my water bottle? That's a problem. I'm gonna need that. Okay, so what is the real question here? What made you come to YouTube in the first place? What made me come to YouTube in the first place is that like I watched some YouTubers, mostly like Petrick and people like Daniel and a couple other people and like Mike. And I saw what they did, and they were making videos that seemed like they were really cool, right? And what I wanted was something else. What I wanted was videos of people that were really reacting to their experience without thinking about it. And so I was like, why does nobody do that? How come it doesn't exist? And for me, it was like, I don't know really. I think I know why now, but back then I was like, I don't really know why you guys are watching these videos. So I need to be careful about what I say. Thank you so much. Let's not talk about Santa or anything, y'all. But no, so I saw that there was like this style of video that wasn't being made, and I wanted to see it. And I was like, I can do that. I talk on my feet a lot. I BS a lot for my job and my life, and I could do that, and that'd be fun. And so I just did it. I also had a Goodreads account that had a lot of people on it, and so I was like, oh, I can market this and actually get some people watching my videos, so I can actually get some like feedback right away. Because I think it's really discouraging when you're probably first ranking a channel and nobody's watching your stuff. So I knew like if I do a channel, at least some people are going to watch it. And that's what I did. And so like the other half of your question, looking back, is YouTube what you expected? Yeah, it is. I expected it to just be a nice place that would respond to what I'm doing. And it is. It's just a really nice place of people that give me feedback on the things that I'm reading. And it's really fun and cool. Like I feel like selfish in a way because like a lot of what I get out of this, I'm not giving in. I don't put a lot of effort into this channel. My effort's very low effort. I just mostly just hit record and let you know my thoughts. But I want feedback on what I'm reading. I want to enjoy it. I've never known people that read fantasy books in my life. You know, I've hung out in my life with more of a jock, fraternity brother, like type of person. I mean, I was president of a fraternity. That was my life. I played sports my whole life. And so those weren't the people that were reading fantasy books. And so now as I grow up, I don't know people like that either. I work in a political world. People are reading history books. They're reading political books. They're reading self-help books. And I'm over here reading The Mighty Chronicles, The Rise of Heroes by Elisa Garcia. Looks cool, by the way. I'm reading stuff like that. And so then now I get to go on it and nobody talks about it. So that now I get to talk about it and people give me feedback on no matter what I've read. Somebody's read it. I'm not the first person to read anything. So yeah, it's exactly what I've looked for. And it's really cool. Let's see. Legit just ask the same question without reading. Oh, that's cool. I'm currently reading The Forgetting Moon. Yeah, very good. Thank you. I like that you're enjoying something that I recommended. What's your quick pitch for Empire of the Vampire? Epic fantasy, scary vampires. That's as quick as I can do it. And that's not something you've ever read before, I can promise you. And it works really, really, really well. I love Patrick, #1 wholesome guy on the internet. Yeah. Super wholesome until you know what? It's going to turn out he like eats kids or something. And then, it's always guys like Patrick, they're always the kid eaters. I'm just kidding, Patrick, you're awesome. You and Brian Lee Durfee are definitely the most organic. Look, this is small text. I thought that's an arrogant book reviewer, so I was going to be like, I guess. I'm not nice, but I appreciate you being honest. I always appreciate your open and honest approach to reviews. What is the most anticipated release of this year? Mine is another Empire of the Dawn by Jack Christoph. Or Shadows Upon Time by Rocket. It's got to be. Shadows Upon Time. Has to be that. And that guy can't let me down. And I've been let down by a lot of like ending series books lately. So kind of knowing that it's going to be dope, I think is really, really cool. All right. So what else? We got Treya Maynak in the Western Air, Maria K. Anthony. Almost clip arty. Not quite clip art, but close. What else? Can you ever see yourself retiring from YouTube? No. It's so like I put so much little effort into it, and I just like reading, and I've read my whole life, so it's not like why would I not? Why would I not? Something weird would have to happen, like either I'd have to not like reading anymore, which is odd because I've done that my whole life, or this takes too much effort. I've already pulled back on the effort a lot to a point where it's like so sustainable, or like what? Like something really bad happened in my life where like my whole life got upended and I don't even like to think about that kind of thing. So yeah, no, I can't imagine that. What do you think about The Devils being adapted? I think it's awesome. It's such an easily adaptable book. And I think like it couldn't happen to a cooler guy. So I don't know if it will get adapted. I think the odds of it being adapted are very small. Almost all of these projects don't work out, but if it did, super cool. Have you watched Sinners? No, I have not. I don't really watch TV. What was your favorite book you read this year? Favorite book this year? I don't know. I mean, I wrote it down. It's got to be probably A Storm of Swords. It's probably A Storm of Swords. Did I read Memories of Ice this year? Probably A Storm of Swords. Marcus Constantine's In Albion Subterra. Is this like a history book? Maria K. Anthony? Is that what this is? No, it's not. Looks cool though. Very interesting cover art. I don't mean that in like the interesting, like you say that about something you don't like. I mean, it actually looked interesting. What's your favorite non-fantasy sci-fi book? Pillars of the Earth? Oh no, Lonesome Dove. It's right there. I had to look. I just got my sister to read The Blade Itself. Thank you for getting me into Joe Abercrombie. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, I got some that are the disappointing ones, not disappointing for me, but disappointing for my kids that are already open. We got Pippa, Agrippa, and Britannia Prima by Maria K. Anthony. These are history books. This is another by Mary K. Anthony, and she apparently writes history books, which is cool. And then we got Funny Fairy Tales, All 16 Fairy Tales, another history book, historically accurate, by Root Barak. Very colorful cover. Also looks a little AI, but maybe it's not. I'm not an artistic guy. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not putting out accusations out there, nor do I really care. I don't really care about AI like the rest of you. But all right, we got another history book. Shadows on the Ice, the 1972 Andes disaster. This looks cool. This is very small, and it's hardcover. And I actually might read this one. That actually is I'm going to put that in my very special categories of books that I might read because that looks cool. What do we got here? Have you read? No. Boom. Have not. Easiest thing of the day. You guys can. There's 69 people watching. That's a lot of people. You can type, and then I'll read it if you want. You don't have to just like watch me or listen to me. You can tell me things too. It works both ways. Or am I not getting all the messages? I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. All right. Didn't I get sent this? I know I'm not going crazy. I'm not going crazy. Well, I mean, that's not the reason I'm going crazy. There are other reasons. Mono, Matt, how are you? I'm doing fantastic. Life is good. Sun is out. Got coffee. Hanging out with y'all. Go play some soccer in a little bit, maybe. Read. Clean. Does it get better as a dad? I think it does. Are you planning on getting Steven Erikson on your channel? I've gone from saying yes to no. You know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm too intimidated to talk to Steven Erikson. I was really nervous to interview Joe Abercrombie, and I know it like came off well and like confidently, but I was very nervous, and I didn't really have a good time because I was just nervous about messing it up, and I'm nervous about like doing something that I'm going to let you guys down on, or like doing something that's derivative, which is the worst. My whole channel is based around me not copying other things unintentionally, and so. Do I want to be the 8,000th person that interviewed Steven Erikson to talk about the same questions that he's already answered? I don't want to bore him. Joe Abercrombie, I felt like I was able to ask things he probably hasn't been asked for, and I have a comedic style that kind of matches up with his. So I think he had more fun being interviewed with me than he may in general. But Erikson is very intelligent, comedic guy. And he's more stoic, and I don't know. I would love to like meet him and talk to him, but like, do I want to broadcast that? I don't know. Hey, that's my book. Which one? Say it again, and I'll actually show off the book to everybody. Tell me again, and I'll actually be cool. Something Darker Than Love by Tim McHugh. Looks cool. All right, you've got two of them. I do have two of them. What's your favorite nonfiction? Pillars of the Earth, is that nonfiction? Has AI crept into your line of work? Oh, so much. In such a good way, I got to tell you. I mean, I use AI on this channel all the time. AI helps manage my audio. It fixes my audio feed. I've used it in editing help before. I use it to help me brainstorm ideas at work. I use it to pare things down. I use it to look things up on a more research basis. It's been very helpful in my life. Just personally. Hey, Matt, do you talk a lot about reading with your wife, kids? No, I don't. They don't care. And I don't like to talk about things that people don't care about. I don't like to talk just to like to talk. I like to talk about things because I want to keep people entertained and have fun. So I don't really talk about the books I read that much. The kids are freaking out. Oh, the kids are great. Keep going. Smiley face. Thank you. I love you. Got the green light, y'all. Got a hall pass. You knocked my camera.
Did I?
I mean, a little bit.
Are you okay?
I think we're good.
Where you want to go this way?
Yeah, be careful, please.
Like that?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're the best.
Sorry.
All right, let's open. Are you going to read that? No, probably not. I've never heard of it. Show us the most beautiful book you own. I don't own a lot of beautiful books, but I will say that this one was sent in to me by a viewer, which is this amazing, amazing copy of The Sword of Kagan that is signed and like numbered. Is it the other way around? Oh, and it's just beautiful looking, and I love it. And it was like the nicest thing anybody's ever sent me. I mean, not in my life. I've had relatives send me some cool things, but for a viewer, super, super awesome. All right, The Mighty Chronicles. Where's The Mighty Chronicles? Let's find you. Boom. All right, The Mighty Chronicles. We're reading this one bad boy. We got the Midnight Chroniclers, who's a sweet YouTuber you should check out. We're going to read the back of this. Witness the first entry in a brand new series called The Mighty Chronicles. This coming-of-age story is both dramatic and charming, and a love letter to the superhero genre that will keep you on the edge of your seat. In Nightfall, follow three siblings, Hudson, Ethan, and Charles, who are the offspring of a mighty superhero duo. Before the trio can begin proper training to become heroes, a supervillain kidnaps their parents as the act of revenge. With their superpowers, the brothers must embark on a quest to save their parents by teaming up with an old alcoholic hero named Avalor. Love him. As they embark on their journey, the three brothers will discover the pros and cons of being heroes. Dope. Good work. Good work, my dude. Any intentions to write a book? No. God, no. I hate writing. Ook. Ook. Sweet. What else? Ever been to the UK? Yes, I have several times. I am a big soccer fan or football fan for those of you that don't live in America. But yeah, big fan, and I've gone multiple times to go watch my favorite team play, and I have not been able to go in a long time because I have kids. But I would like to go back and this way. That camera. Oh, we're good. Nothing broke. Almost broke, but we're good. But yeah, I'd love to go back and go to London. That would be awesome. Do you have a special edition Malazan book? I don't have any special Malazan books. It's hard. I'm really cheap. If you've ever noticed, I'm a big cheapskate. I always have been, and I don't like to spend money when I don't have to. The Bigger Con by Mark Mellon. I mean, yeah, it's something's going on here. I don't really have anything to say about that. Quite the cover. Quite the cover. What else? Would you mentioning your favorite football team all fall under not talking about politics? A bit. I noticed that whenever I talk about my favorite teams in general, almost everybody gets mad at me because, look, that's how it works. But I'm a Chelsea fan. Do you watch the UFC? I don't. I used to. I don't anymore. Osiris by A. Smith, House of Power. Check that one out. Yeah, I used to watch UFC back in the day. Like UFC 1 through 10 was my jam. Royce Gracie. But yeah, I haven't kept up on it. Again, I'm a cheapskate. And UFC is an expensive sport to watch. Have you got your sense of smell back? No, it's not coming back. My sense of smell is forever gone. I've accepted it. What else? The Hatter's Daughter by V.A. Simpson. Very pretty cover. Like the artistic style going on here. I'm intrigued. Oh, we got a big old pile going on there. Dirty Chelsea fan. Yeah, of course. It all makes sense. Yep. Of course. You're on the left side of the screen, so books will be easier to see on your left shoulder. All caps. Yeah, but I started out over here, and it's just not comfortable. So, what do I do? I just have to switch it up. I have to be uncomfortable. Sometimes in life, you have to just do something that makes you uncomfortable. Okay. Grave Empire. Thank you for sending this to me. I threw this in here, even though I'm actually reading this right now. I'm reading Grave Empire, and I'm really lumping it up. I love Grave Empire. It reminds me a lot of Empire of the Wolf, which it's in the same world as. I'll talk a lot more about it when I review it, but it is a wonderful book. It reminds me a lot of Joe Abercrombie's writing, and I adore it. And yeah, you should check it out. Thank you, Richard Swan, for sending me that. All right, what else we got? What's your favorite standalone? I don't know. I just miss you. She bumped her camera. She did bump my camera. Are you watching this still, babe? There's a revolt on our hands at your actions. Camera, yeah, man, you know, it happens. That's what happens when you live with other people. Didn't you get the Diamond Edition? Is that nicer than the edition of the Sword of Kagan? Definitely a better book. I did get the Diamond Edition. You know, I gotta be real. You guys call me out, but I don't know where that is. I knew the Sword of Kagan was like here, and I'm tilted kind of that way, and I didn't want to look that way. I wanted to look that way, but you called me out. All right, Brotherhood of the Wolf, the shortest thing. Is this a comic book? Yeah, it's a comic book. Brotherhood of the Wolf, the Lesser Devil. Looks cool. All right. Look, I'm just going to say it. This one doesn't look cool at all. Heavy Metal Forever by Jack Lawrence. Jack, you got to put more effort into your covers. I'm telling you. I'm not a cover reader, but that just turns me off. You should have gone like a flat color or something. It's not it, bro. It's not it. All right, what else? I just finished Life Ship Traders on your recommendation. Hopefully you loved it. It's not my favorite. Bam. There we go. Any plans to read Daughter? Nope. Never heard of this person. Not a revolt. There's a revolt, and you're leading it. All right, we got a few more that I have not opened yet, and then we'll go to a few more that I have. Quite a few that I haven't. All right, let's work through this. We've only been here about an hour. Blade of Souls by DK Savage. Altair Legends 1. How many are you going to write? You're going to write 24 of them like our friend earlier? You're just going to write one of them. We'll find out. At least one. All right, what do we got? Your wandering and reviews are so fire. Thank you. That's so nice of you. Custom package. Custom package. You never know what you're going to get with the custom package. All right, and we got something that looks a little fire. We got Discount Dan. Discount Dan by James A. Hunter. Discount Dan's Backroom Bargains, Book 1. This is a great cover. Discount Dan. I wish that the guy who wrote it was also named Dan, and he was kind of writing it about himself. But I also appreciate people coming up and writing stories about something that's not real too. You know, that's a thing. But and discount James didn't roll off the tongue. So it makes sense. Will you read a Wizard of Earthsea? I did read Wizard of Earthsea. Ziggy Red. Ziggy Red, are you do I know you from somewhere besides this? I feel like your name rings a bell from my pre-YouTube days. Don't want to say more than that. Discount Dan is the cousin of Dungeon Crawler Carl. Yes, absolutely. Any books make you cry? Yeah, I'm not afraid to cry. Ziggy, did we used to play a web game together? Ziggy? All right. We got Traces by Franklin J. Knight. Book 1. Very colorful. Looks like somebody just threw on a load of color on here. No, I'm from under the discount server. All right. Well, good to see you, Ziggy. I had a while where I played a lot of the web game. And I was very involved in it. I was like, ran the sports league in it. It was a big deal. It was a big deal. Okay, this is a cool cover. This is in the fire cover category, y'all. It looks real. Frontier, Darkness and Death Wait in the Shadows by Nicholas Kane. Looks like we're, a couple of dudes just sitting Civil War era on their majestic steeds. Does it get more fun than that? Does life get better? Probably does. There was a lot of famine and death and a lot of low quality of living, but I can pine for those days and imagine that they were full of air conditioning and modern health and all the good things. But doesn't that just look nice? It looks nice. It's probably crap. All right, what do we got? I hope you give a Dance with Dragons 5 stars. I probably won't, but it's nice of you to say that. Congratulations. Thank you. My wife cried so much at the end of Ruin because of Storm. Yeah, that happens. Will you read The Truth of... No, I didn't like Earthsea, to be honest with you. Of course I didn't. It's an older book. I'm not a very smart guy. And if you write in an older way, I'm probably not going to understand what you're talking about. All right, what do we got here? We got The Land Beyond the Waste. Very simple dragon on the cover. If you're going to put a dragon on the cover, make it look kind of dark. Make it look sort of like it's going to eat you. But maybe I won't. Maybe I want to. Maybe you're not on the menu yet. Maybe bad boy dragon. That's what I want out of my dragons. So BF Peterson, you know how to ride a good dragon, my man. All right. What did you think of Mistress of the Empire? My Mistress of the Empire review is recorded, but not edited. So I don't want to say anything other than that. But I will say that it's one of the best books I've ever read. It's so good. It's so good. Anyways, Lunarmancer. This is a thick one. It's not going to take out the other one for weapon. We have a weapon down there. This one's not quite a weapon. This is more like a throwing thing. by Jake Bennett. Pretty cool underwater covers. I like it. I like what I see. All right, what do we got? Whenever you upload a video, it's always a pleasure to watch. Thank you. It's a pleasure to make it for you. I thought I could say something more eloquent than that. Like my huge water bottle. I drink a lot of water. It's good for you. Do you have any DNFs this year? I do. I DNF'd a book that I was surprised to do. You know what I DNF'd? Warlords of the Weirdwood by R.J. Barker, one of my favorite authors. Not because it's a bad book, but I didn't understand it. Gods of the Weirdwood was awesome. I loved it. 5 stars last year. New series by R.J. Barker. He wrote the Tide Child trilogy, and I just thought it was great. It's just a wonderful author, and everything he writes is just such a high quality of writing. But this Gods of the Weird was so weird and dark and confusing, and I didn't take notes when I read it, and I was like, this is going to be hard. And then he did like a 2 or 3 page intro where it's like, here's what happened in the previous book. And when you do that, it's always dangerous because a lot of books don't put that in, but then like the first 50 pages are like hand holding. But then the books who do put it in, they're like, we're off to the races. You should get it by now. And I read that intro thing and I was like, I don't really understand anything that's going on. I don't remember almost any of this. And to be at that level of confusion and just jump in headfirst into a book, look, I got to throw up the hazards. I can't do it. So yeah, that is my DNF of the year. Will you read any more Feist or Words? I've struggled with this. I don't know. My favorite of Rift War clearly was the Empire trilogy. And it was this more political style book. And I know that the rest of Rift War is not that. So will I read more Feist? No. Now, I did read a Janie Wirtz book. I read a little bit of I DNF'd. What's the 10-book series she did? Maybe 11 books? And I didn't like it. It was too dreamlike, and it wasn't my sort of thing. So, does Janie have another political type thriller book like this? Yes, then I will. If not, then I probably won't. All right, what did I just open up? We opened up The Lost Reliquary. Is that a real word? Am I just dumb? By Lindsay Alay. Everything about this is throwing me off, but it looks cool. Kind of looks like what's that? The Lost Two or the Two? No, I don't like it, but the cover's cool. What is it? With like the lesbian necromancer assassins, kind of gives me a vibe of that one. What else? I DNF the Well of Ascension. Yeah, it happens. Kelsier. That does have a Kelsier vibe. That's not who I was thinking of, but that does have a Kelsier vibe. What's the funniest book I've read? The funniest book I've read? Guards, maybe. I really liked Orconomics. I thought Orconomics really made me laugh, but Guards probably had the most serious laughs. All right. We got another non-Amazon package. And I don't got anything against Amazon, but it's just most of what I get. So when I get something different, shakes it up a little bit. All right. We got a deck of cards, which is dope. We got a letter, which is dope. We got a bookmark for Sons of Dark. Oh, you know what this is? I have a story about this. Okay. Sons of Darkness. This is a special edition copy of Sons of Darkness by Gaurav Montani. I think that's how you say his name. Very pretty book. This is very nice that this dude sent this to me. So this is book 2, I think, A Dance with Shadows. And I read the first book, and I did a buddy read of this on my channel, and I didn't love it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. And I felt really bad about that because like the dude was so nice, and like I led this read of it, and I didn't want to let the guy down, you know, but I didn't love it. And even though I didn't love it, he reaches out and is like, I just appreciate giving more notice to my books. I want to send you this gift. And this is what it is. So that's just a very kind gesture. And I am touched. So thank you very much. Do you think a bad audio? I like the caps. It feels like you're yelling at me. I don't know what I did to deserve this. Any number of things. But I don't know specifically what. But do you think a bad audio narrator can ruin a good book and vice versa? And has that happened to you all the time? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, great audiobook narrators can elevate a book and bad ones can ruin it. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but there's a lot of bad audiobook narrators that should not be doing audiobook narration. And like authors are doing themselves a disservice. I feel like just spend some money on an awesome, look, I'm going to say this too. Don't go get an audiobook narrator. Apparently what you need to do is go get like an actor, like a Shakespearean type actor, because those dudes rock, or woman. But just go get one of them because they can do the best voices. Whenever I hear one of these older books that were written in the 90s and they're all written by these actor types, that's when they rock. And so, yeah, a lot of them, though, are pathetically bad. Who would want to listen to a bad narrator? Nobody, but I think some people just don't care. Like my wife doesn't care. She just only listens to audiobooks. It doesn't really change her enjoyability. And she also listens to them at 2x speed, which is honestly, I don't think she's watching this anymore, so I can say this, but there's certain things you can do that are like, you might be a serial killer. And like taking an ice cold shower is one of them, you know? And listening to a book on 2x speed. These are things that like only crazy people do. Not crazy like, you know, oh, look at that silly guy that doesn't have his marbles to him, but like scary, crazy. But when you listen to 2x speed, everything sounds the same. So you can see it. Makes sense. That's not to me. So I need to get out of that one. Do you have any lit RPGs on your TBR? I don't have any on my TBR other than Wandering In. What else? A lot of the audiobooks. Hey, babe, you need something?
I can listen it.
You're still watching this?
Why are you hating on my 2x?
You know for a fact that 2x is weird.
It's not. I slow it down for certain parts.
What kind of parts?
Spicy.
Get out of here. Taking ice cold showers, fine. I agree on the 2x speed though. I listen in 2x if no thick accent. Yeah. What do you dislike about Sons of Darkness? I have it on my shelf. I don't remember exactly. It was the that's one of the problems. I don't remember. But it was the middle of the story. It got kind of like confusing to me. And like, why is this plot happening? It felt like not relevant to the story. It felt like there was like things that, and I could just be misremembering things. I shouldn't say anything negative about the book without really reading about it because that's not nice. I do remember it was a big time me thing though, because everybody else that read it on my channel really liked it. Okay, this is very pretty. Okay, we got two books. We got The Gaia Chime by Jonathan Worthen. That's horrifying. But then we got Achilles in hardback, New and Ancient Greek Tales. Is that by the same author? No. Why were those sent together? Does anybody understand why those would be sent together when they're written by two different people and they're not sent by the... I mean, they're clearly written by two different people, right? Am I wrong? Forward by Professor David something. By Jonathan Burgess. Is that Jonathan Burgess? No. What? What's happening? Am I crazy? But it's cool. Hardback book. Achilles with the sprayed edges. Might give that to my mom. Act like I bought it. I know she's not watching. If I get a phone call from my mom right now, I'm going to lose it. That would be so upsetting. Okay, I already read that one. You just got in trouble. I did. You read that point. You just gotta read the book. Yeah, okay. All right. No phone calls from mom. Things are looking up in my life. I don't have a ton of books left, but let's pile through this. Let's try to get this done in another 15 minutes or so. Ooh. My daughter brought me leopard print scissors. Doing a live stream is a whole family affair, y'all, apparently. All hands on deck so I can open up King of the Forgotten Darkness, a Raven's Tale fantasy. Now, look, I've never been one to shy away from my opinions, but this is fuzzy. This text is not high quality. Maybe it's not a final, but it's not. It needs a little higher quality when you hit publish. All right, we're done with the ones that were pre-opened. Also, if you want me to respond to you, you just got to type. That's how it works. Okay, we got another pretty one. You know, whenever a book has yarn on it, you know it's going to be something good. So we got a sticker. We got a burnt message. Goblins, sorry, have trouble on way, but package here now. Sorry, thank. That's dope. We got the Goblin lip gloss. Dope. Goblin map. Dope. Goblin crossword puzzle. This is when a lot of effort gets put into things. And you know what? I'm here for it. This is great stuff. Wriggly Little Hands. Super cool. By Alex Knight. I feel like Alex sent me another one of these series before because I feel like I've gotten these little toys before. Not all of the exact ones, but I remember this Goblin Sorry note, which is just the coolest little thing. But yeah. And my kids, again, I got a little kids pile here. They are going to lose it in a good way. Do you think you're good at picking books for yourself? I do. One of the few things I'm good at. Congrats, Matt, my favorite booktuber, and it's not even close. Thank you, bucko. Is that how you say it? I appreciate that. Hopefully you also listen to other booktubers, and that's not like the only person. If you want to a Halloween party with a load of book nerds, who would you go dressed up as? Ooh, I don't know. It's such a good question for me not to have a great answer. I feel like this isn't part of the thing because it came in a gift bag. And usually those come with a note. And it came with a return envelope. I think this is like not for us. Oh, it is. All right. By Tanya Hill. Another from Tanya. Didn't we already get one from Tanya? The Webs of Chaos and Keystone Chronicles. I know I've seen this. Keystone Chronicles. But Tanya, you're killing it, Tanya. Keep it up. Keep up the good work, Tanya. I'm not gift returning that. I'm keeping it. Might gift return it. All right. What else? We got a handful more. Not a ton more. Amazon. The Monocle. With a E.T. Kids on Bike vibe. With a crazy, like, Cthulhu behind it. By Mark Kavanagh. All right. Anybody else got anything? You guys not even commenting. I could just fly on through. I think you're all looking out for me today. All right. What do we got here? We got a little bit more. Oop. It's been a while since we've had one of these. A box inside of a box. With a note. How private is this note? Ooh, very spicy. Also, if you would like an audiobook, I'll send you one that was done by Jeff Hayes. By Jeff Hayes. Jeff Hayes is my boy. I love Jeff Hayes. Top tier audiobook narrator. And apparently, you can read this book Oh, baby. Oh, baby. A box inside of a box that was wrapped in a box. Does life get any better? I submit. It's not a foil. This is like one of those babushka dolls. Finally, we found it. The Pilgrims by M.R. Leonard. And I'm going to say, don't read this book, y'all. Go get the audiobook. Because I can already tell you that the audiobook is going to be better than the regular book. Although this really does look cool. It's got that whole like Independence Day cover. All right, what do we got? If I were instantly transported to a fantasy world, which would you choose? I don't know, man. Is there Earth in one? Because most fantasy worlds are horrific. Who's your favorite fantasy antagonist? Is Glokta an antagonist? I think he is. It's got to be him. All right. Rite of Passage. Now we got another dragon here. And this dragon, I think, is done by the same guy that made the other dragon book I like. I got to find it now. Not the same guy. This dragon is better than this dragon. You showed too much detail, John. Still, scary dragon. It works. It works. I'm being too picky. All right. What else we got? We got a. Is this Amazon? Feels Amazon. The Pythagorean by Alexander Morphi. I don't know. It's cool. It's got some Greek thing going on for it. It's got the whole Doric little pattern on the side. Pretty cool. People sending me a bunch of Greek stuff. I feel like they think that's their in. What else? I think Baez is the only real antagonist in the First Law trilogy. Yeah, and I would argue that I don't want to ruin anything, but I think that Glokta could be considered that in the second trilogy. All That We See or Seen by Ken Liu. Ken Liu has a new book. You serious? Advanced reader's copy. 5 months early or a few months early. Do I need to read this? I love Ken Liu. Hey, that's cool. Does anybody know what this is about? Is this even fantasy? Should I read it anyways? Dandelion is my favorite books. Right up there. Somebody tell me what All That We See or Seem is all about. Because I'm excited. Going out in a bang. All right, we got a few more. Maybe not. Maybe with a whimper. We Laugh at Death by John R. Foltz. That's a lot of green. That's a lot of green. But I've never seen a mummy with a sword before. I've never seen a ninja mummy. I've seen ninja zombies. I've seen ninja pirates. I've never seen a ninja mummy. Have you? They say every day you got to learn something. Today I learned something. All right. Box inside a box. We're starting off good. I need about 3 more boxes for this to take the lead in the box inside a box from James Islington. What the frick is this? Okay, let's step back for a second, y'all. Okay, I got this box. It's not a book. There's nothing in here. It's a little teeny box with a pouch. It looks like I got jewelry. It's from James Islington. And it's a puzzle. What the? heck? Oh, there is something on the bottom. It's a little teeny book. The Strength of the Few, Hierarchy Book 2. Is this like a preview of it? James, bruh. Coming in hot with the gift. I also think that one of these pieces dropped out just now. Did it? Because that would be tragic. I don't think it did. We'll check the tape. But that is really cool. We are off to just some banging final things here. You'd think I planned this. I did not plan this. That's really exciting. Man, I've never gotten something as unique as a jigsaw puzzle from an author. How do I decide if my review is spoiler free or not? Almost all of them are spoiler free. The only things I do spoiler of are things that I feel like the only people that are watching it have read it. I did spoiler for really just wandering in, and I accidentally did one of A Feast for Crows. I realized like halfway through I was doing my review, I was like, I've spoiled the whole thing. And so I was like, I guess this is a spoiler one now, but it's all spoiler free outside of that. Phone group reads. All right, here we go. Matt's coming through for Matt. Former orphan hacker Julia Z. Wait. Yeah, former orphan hacker Julia Z. As she is thrust into a high-stakes adventure where she must use her AI whispering skills to unravel a virtual reality mystery. Rescue. Okay, I'm in. That's all. I needed to just be vaguely interesting, and I'm in. So, Ken, I have actually gotten a few books here that I'm legitimately going to read. What a gift. What a gift. All right, we got another hardcover. Effort is being put in here. I lied. It's not hardcover. This is the same book we already got. I think. A Raven's Tale fantasy? King of the Forgotten Darkness. I already made fun of it because it was blurry. Now I got to make fun of it because he sent it twice. Which one is that? I want to read that. Yeah, I want to read that too. Oh, that's the Ken Liu one. That's this one. All That We See or Seen. Yeah. That's what I want to read. That's what I'm going to be reading. All right. Nothing is in this one. Unless my kids must say, all right, last one. It's a custom box that went through customs. So, how much did it cost? $25 value. Is that the blurb for the new? Yeah, that is the blurb for the Ken Liu one. All right. Last one. The Boar and the Eagle by Jesse Falk. Jesse Falk. All the Gaul is divided and the eagle approaches. All right, so this old Roman book. Yep. Cool. Are we actually done? We're done. Babe, I did it. I cleared out the books. And I just got to... If you saw the trash pile over here and the book pile over there, I almost think I made a bigger mess than I solved. But sometimes you have to go backwards in order to go forwards. That's just how it works. All right. We got any last minute things to say, everybody? I'm going to give you guys like a minute to say something. Otherwise, we are logging out of here. I'm a YouTube user. Yeah, you are. All right, what do we got? I'm about 35% through Dungeon Crawl Book 1. Enjoying it so far after a Clash of Kings first read through. You are having a good time in your life right now. You're going through some banging books, Slayton. And you know what? I don't see anything else. We're ending this off. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. This was fun. Clearing out all of these, making a bigger mess than I had. But here we are. So thanks again, all of you. And as always, happy reading to you.